Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna just try to get through as much of my physical TBR as we can this week. And I do want to pick out a few books that I want to read, but I already have two that I've kind of started. And I've mostly been reading this one today, and I'm definitely going to finish it today. So anyway, I'm going to be doing many of these videos getting through my physical TBR because I have this shelf right here is generally my physical TBR. The two bottom shelves are like my Bibles and my journals, but everything above that is my physical TBR. I do have Just for the Summer on there, and I have read that though. Happy Place is on there too, but I've read Happy Place. So those two books I've already read. So I do need to be getting through these books, and a lot of them are big fantasy books. And like this one, the one that I'm currently reading, The Ravenscaller, is 643 pages. And I have Hollow that I need to read, City of Bones, Crescent City, the first one. I don't remember what it's called. The Will of the Many. Those are like the big ones. Oh, and the Jasad. So all of these are not going to be done in this book, I'm telling you that. Because I would like to wrap this up at some point this week, and I'm not going to be able to read all of those. But I am going to be able to read this one. I only have, let's see. I'm on page 602, and there's 643 pages in this book, and I know I'm gonna finish it. That was my plan today, but let me just tell you a little bit about The Ravenscaller. So I was going into this book having very high expectations, and let me just tell you, they were met. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star because it was, my thing with books like these is if it's like as confusing as, like, if I can't like grasp what's happening because I'm confused, so I know half of that's my fault, but the other half is like, well, maybe like you, like maybe it's just like confusing. And I've heard that a lot. Sometimes this book can be confusing, and it's not as bad as a lot of books I've read, so gonna give it that. But I did have a hard time with it a couple of times, and I'm not done yet. But like right in here, I was like, okay. And then like through here, I was like, oh my gosh. And like now here, we're kind of like, I was kind of like, oh. And then right back here, I'm like, oh my gosh. That's what I'm feeling right now. And I'm really excited. I'm predicting 4 to 4.5 stars. We're going to see how it ends, obviously. But I just got left off on like a cliffhanger. I could have kept reading, but I knew I wanted to start this video. So here we are starting the video. I'm pretty excited to finish this. I haven't finished a book in a really long time. I've not finished a book this month yet, and it's April, let's see, it's April 13th, and I haven't finished a book yet. So I really need to get on it, but I know I'm gonna finish this book today, and then the next book I'm for sure picking up is Just Friends by Haley Pham. I got this book, I had it on pre-order originally, like I ordered it like last year whenever she announced it. So excited for her. I have her thing right here too, the little book sleeve. I love this thing. I take it everywhere with me, but I'm really excited about this. I'm having a bit of a hard time getting into it. I'm a little confused, but I love Haley Pham. I love her YouTube videos. I am so inspired by her. I think she's awesome, and I loved the 50 States in 50 Days series. Obviously, I know everybody else on this earth probably watched that, and it was awesome, but I've known her for a lot longer than that, and I'm very excited. And I was reading in the beginning, and I don't know like if this was like a huge thing, but I got one of the first I got the first print of this book. Not like the first one, but like in the first like printing, like those books, I got one of those, and so that was pretty cool to see. I don't know how many there were, but I'm pretty excited about this too. I'm on page 58, chapter 6. So not gonna finish this today. I don't even know if I'll pick this one back up again because I'm planning to go to bed really early tonight to set myself up for success for tomorrow, period. But I really don't know. I didn't read the back of this book when I started reading it, so I don't really know what's going on. But if I did read that, then I'd probably know. I know there's Blair and there's Declan. And like, I don't want to actually tell you because then like that would be spoiling the book. But I'm really excited. I've heard that like it's very much of a mix of Lynn Painter and Emily Henry, and I know that she loves those authors so much because she talks about them all the time. And so I'm very happy that people are saying that about this book because that's literally, like, she loves them so much, and I love that for her. But we need to finish this. Okay, everyone. I know that you might have assumed that this next clip would be me reading the 2 books I just talked about. And the thing is I wasn't planning on doing any, like, filming of me reading those books, just, like, little, like, B-roll or anything, last night. But I ended up finishing both of those books last night, so we need to talk about them. I'm sorry, I can't control the birds, but this book was so good. I gave it 4.5 stars. The only thing about this book is I was a little confused at times, and mostly, like, I have a hard time picturing what's going on in my head of, like, just things that are happening in, like action scenes mostly, so, like, during trials. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. Literally, fantasy books nowadays, like, 10 out of 10 times, like, 9 out of 10 times, they're probably gonna have trials. So, this book does have trials, and during scenes like that, I have a hard time picturing, like, what's actually going on. And then there's also one other part about this book that I didn't particularly love, like, I just didn't care about, but it wasn't, like, make or break for me. So, I absolutely love this book. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. We don't have any news about the second one, though. I found out last night there's no release date. So, I don't know if it even has a name yet. Does it? I feel like there was a name in the back of this one. So, it might have a name. But there's definitely, it says the story continues in The Fox in Winter, book 2 of the Eternal Path trilogy. So, The Fox in Winter might be the name, I guess. But it was really good. I had made a prediction pretty early on that I thought was gonna happen, and it did not. That did not happen. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because that would literally, it would, like, ruin it, like, the first part of the book. And so I'm not gonna tell you what I thought was gonna happen, but it did not end up happening, and, like, a lot of crazier stuff ended up happening than I thought was actually gonna happen, but that's a fantasy book for you. So anyway, but if you've been eyeing this book and just thinking about reading it, I would totally recommend it. I'm gonna have everybody in my life read it now, so The Raven Scholar is a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. And then the next book that I finished up, because I was on page 58 of Just Friends. I ended up finishing this last night. It took me like an hour and a half, okay? And I'm gonna be so honest. I love Haley Pham. She has, like, been one of my favorite creators on this app for a really long time, and so I had really high hopes for this book. And I don't think it was necessarily bad, but I think that it's more like YA. I don't know if it's a YA book. I would assume that it's YA, but, like, than anything I like to read nowadays, and especially, like, in a romance book, like, I don't read, like, YA romance, like, ever. And I was kind of, like, looking through the Goodreads reviews on it, and I was kind of, like, feeling the same as a lot of other people were feeling about this book. But I did not really enjoy it. And I think, like, I don't think it's a problem for Haley. Like, I just feel so bad saying this because I love her so much, but, I just think, like, she's obviously gonna grow when she, like, writes more books, and I hope that and pray that for her because she, like, deserves this so much. But it just wasn't my favorite book. I couldn't really connect to the characters. I didn't really, like, I couldn't sense, like, a strong plot in it, and I didn't really care about the romance, so it was kind of just, like, eh. but it wasn't that long, so it's kind of hard to like get into characters really deeply with like not that much like working room, you know. And there were a few typos that I did notice, and I don't know if that's necessarily her fault, and I don't think it's her fault, or like if that's somebody else's fault, but I know it's like a chain of people, but there's just like little things that I noticed that I just didn't really care for, but I do have high hopes for Haley, and I know that she's gonna get better, and I'm just saying it now, like she's gonna be huge, and it's gonna be awesome, and we all start somewhere. So I did give it 2.5 stars though. Anywho, so those were the first 2 books I read, and now I'm currently reading another book, and so we're gonna talk about it. I am reading The Jessod Heir. I've had this book for a couple months now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I haven't really been reading. I told myself that this week specifically I'm going on a reading sprint, and I'm just gonna get through as much as I possibly can. It's gonna be hard, but I have a goal in mind, and I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen because this is taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it's a huge fantasy book, so I should have known. But I'm really enjoying it so far. This one has been much easier to understand than the Raven Scholar, but it also feels like very like familiar. Like I feel like I like have seen this before, but not that that's a bad thing. It just makes it easier on my brain to be like, okay, like this is what we're looking at. I'm like getting confused as to like some of the characters, and that's the only thing I'm having trouble with. But like right now where I'm at, I'm on chapter 5, and so I'm really not that far in. Like I've read this much, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I like our main character. I think she's cool, and I'm not really sure what the plot is yet. I don't know like where we're going from here, but I have an idea. And I don't tend to make predictions about books because I've never cared to, but I've been doing that obviously recently. I did that with the Raven Scholar, and I was not right, but I'm gonna start making predictions about books because it's so fun to see if they're right or not. But so I'm gonna start with this again, but I don't have any yet just because I don't know exactly where we're going. So we'll see how I end up liking this. It's going pretty well so far though. I would have liked to have finished this today to meet my goal, but there is absolutely no way. It's 7 o'clock, and I like to go to bed early because I gotta get up for the gym in the morning, but I'm having trouble like walking and like running. Like no, I don't run and read at the same time, but like I walk and read at the same time, like at the gym on the treadmill, or like just like outside. I like to walk and read, but this book is literally huge, so I'm having troubles with it. I don't think it's on Kindle Unlimited, and that's why I bought it physically, but if they just put it on there, I'm totally downloading it on my Kindle because I need it to save me right now. But yes, I am enjoying this, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I know that the second book is even bigger than this one though, and that does scare me a little bit. I don't think there's another one after that. I don't know how many books there are going to be in this, if this is going to be like a duology, a trilogy. The next one could be the end of it. I really don't know. But we will see. We will find out. I'll put it on the screen whenever I find out what it is, but I'm really excited. Okay, everyone. Sorry, I sound a bit sick. I'm not, it's just allergies. But I've been reading The Jessod Heir, and it is so good. I really was not expecting this. I've been having such a hard time comprehending fantasy books, and this has been so easy. And I just was not expecting that. There are some things that I'm kind of like, I don't think there's a glossary in here, and that's kind of throwing me because unless I just missed it. Maybe I just missed it. There is no glossary. But it is literally so good. I'm sorry. I've just been like, oh my gosh. Let me find this page because it was literally so funny. Actually, it would have been back here. I have to find this page for you. It was so good. I literally was crying. Where is it? Please, please. I am thoroughly enjoying myself. I'm sorry, everybody's asleep. But we'll talk about this later. Oh my gosh. Oh, she is tearing it up the driveway. Mommy's home from work. Okay. Oh my gosh. I have yet to finish the TBR. I keep wanting to call it the TBR Crown. I know it's the second book though. I am so flabbergasted. I have this much left and I have to finish it today. Hold me accountable. I mean, you'll know if I finish it today. I'm on page... Oh, definitely not that far. I'm on page 321. And there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. And I was just like kind of going into this in the same way I went to the Raven Scholar of being slightly confused and just like getting another book read, you know, not really enjoying it and just not really caring. But this has completely blown it out of the water. This is amazing. This is amazing. I have not been this, like, whenever I, like, go into a fantasy book, I obviously want it to feel like the same way I felt when I was reading Fourth Wing for the first time. And I've not had that in a really long time. And I'm not feeling that necessarily, like, that much of a, like, anticipation or anything. But this is very good. And it's a lot easier to understand than a lot of fantasy books I've been reading. And I definitely needed this. I'm understanding now. And I'm hooked. Okay? And I'm loving it. I did highlight some things. I was reading on my lunch break today. And I didn't think I was going to make it back. But I prevailed. And I stopped at a huge, like, cliffhanger. Why did I do that to myself? But this is a spoiler. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Not bad, though. It's not, like, if you want to read this book, like, this isn't gonna, like, affect it that much. But and I wrote sedate me on the side. If that wasn't clear. That does say sedate me. So, anyway, but this is actually amazing. And if you're just like having a fantasy rut and you haven't read this book and you want to like get back into fantasy, this is awesome. It's amazing. Totally recommend. But I'm not done with it yet though, so we'll see. So I'm gonna finish up this book. I have like 60 pages left. So pray for me. I'm scared. Oh my god, he scared me so bad. Alright everyone, I have officially finished with the TBR, okay? And I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I haven't read a book where I've been like fully immersed in the story like I had when I read this in like a really long time. I did have a hard time following it because I don't know what's been wrong with me, but like after like the start of 2025, every book I've been reading has just been going over my head. Like I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I mean, other than like romance books, that's not hard for me to obviously comprehend, but any fantasy book, like anytime I try to read a fantasy book, it's just going in one ear and out the other. But this one was really easy for me to understand for some reason, and there was a bit of an info dump, but you can kind of just look past it and it'll like start making sense as you keep reading. So don't let that deter you from reading this book. It was honestly so good, and I think if you are like interested in this at all, I would totally pick it up. It was really good. Like, it was honestly, it was just so good. So I absolutely loved it. I loved our main characters. I didn't honestly care about like the romance subplot at all. Like, I was just interested in like what was going on, which has been a theme for me as of late, because I just don't like, I don't know, I just don't haven't been caring about that, which kind of sucks because that's like what you want to get out of a book like this. But I didn't care. I really didn't. So, but it was definitely there. So if that's something you like too, a fantasy book with a little bit of a romance subplot, that's what this was. Very good though. I loved the way that you like started off at the beginning and then it like morphed to the end. Like, I liked the way I was able to picture the world, and I know that many people have obviously done the same because this book is so popular, and it is that way for a reason. So anyway, I'm going to tell you if I recommend the books that I've read in this video to you or not, and obviously we will start with the Jessod Heir. I would recommend this book to you if you love fantasy and you haven't read it yet, or fantasy romance. Maybe don't pick this up if like you haven't read a lot of fantasy, but it's not that hard to understand. It's pretty simple. You just kind of have to be locked in. But I really did enjoy this, and I know that many people that read this will also enjoy this. So very easy recommendation. The next book, The Raven Scholar. I know that I said that I love this book and that I'm trying to get everybody in my life to read it, but I do think that this one might be a bit of a harder read if you are not completely locked in. Like, you have to be more locked in for this book than this book, but it was phenomenal. But if you've read fantasy and you know you like it and you can like grasp onto it, then I would urge you to read this book. It was so good. It was so good. Oh, every time I just even think about it, I can't stop myself. But also gave that one 4.5 stars. I don't know. It was so good. It was awesome. And the last book, we have Just Friends. Guys, I just wanted to love this so bad, and every time I think about it, I just get so sad. And I don't think that everybody will feel the same way that I did about this book. I know a lot of people have. I don't know. I think that like if you don't read a ton and you pick this up, you're not going to see any of the things that a lot of like avid readers do. You will notice more of the things that you don't like rather than things that you do. But honestly, it was cute and it was fun, but it just wasn't, because I've read so many romance books. Like, I've read almost all of Abby Jimenez's books. I've read almost all of Emily Henry's books, and just like stupid little romance books, I found so many different things I loved about those books, and it was harder for me to find something in this one. But that's because I've read so many. So don't be mean to my girl Haley, though. I love her, and I think that it was like awesome. Like, I never would have been able to do this, and I'm like, that is so awesome of her. But I do think that some people will like it. I really do. I was just not one of them, and that's okay. Maybe I just didn't read it at a good time either. It's completely fine. But thank you for watching this week's video. I'm so happy that I finally got to these two books. Well, honestly, all of them, because I've had these. I got Just Friends. I bought it like last year. Like, I pre-ordered it, and I just didn't read it when it came in for some reason. Well, I didn't read it because I was scared, because everybody was saying that it was not that great. But I did have the Jessod Heir for a really long time, and so I needed to read that. And then I've also been seeing so many good things about the Raven Scholar, so this was an awesome lineup for this week's video. I'm so happy that I did that, but we're gonna slow it down for next week's book video. So just wait and see what that is. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.